Hey, we're here with Clare Wilson, who's standing for Bay of Plenty for the Labour Party. We've got 4 questions for you, Clare. So, let's get started. What do you consider are the key social issues... Come on, I have to edit this out. What do you consider are the key social issues that people face, and how do you propose that those be solved?
Here in the Bay of Plenty, we live in paradise. I firmly believe that. But what I'm seeing more and more, especially in my professional role, is that families are starting to really feel the pinch. People are struggling, and at the end of last year, when I saw people having to make the choice between sending their child on school camp and being able to buy them a Christmas present, I knew that something wasn't right in New Zealand. And I think that that is my biggest thing that I would like to see redressed, is the growing inequality, the growing gap between the haves and the have-nots. And I'm talking about average New Zealand families who are working, who are bringing home incomes, but who are still really struggling to find any money for anything that's a nice to have, not a need to have.
Thanks. Question 2, preserving our natural heritage versus utilising our environment to raise the standard of living. How can these 2 things be balanced so that future generations live in a clean, green New Zealand?
Well, this is an issue very close to my heart, and for example, things like the Rena happened on my birthday, so it's very personal to me. I think that here in the Bay of Plenty we have a unique relationship with our coast. We rely on it for food, we rely on it for recreation, we rely on it for industry, for the port. We've also got things such as offshore mining and drilling for oil and things like that. We're very reliant on all of these things, and we need to have our industry, but we have to absolutely mitigate against any damage to our environment at all costs. Anybody who knows me, who's on the Papamoa website, knows that I'm an absolute greenie at heart, and that I am a bit of a warrior for the environment. I worry about our mining, I worry about our offshore drilling, I worry about our Maui's dolphins. We have to make sure that development and economic development and providing all those jobs and things that we need to do, absolutely no doubt about it, does not come at any cost to our environment, any perceived cost or any real cost. And that's all about putting the right procedures and processes and policies in place.
So what is your vision for New Zealand?
My vision of New Zealand is a vision of a nation where everybody is equal, and that's not what we have at the moment. We need to have all people valued equally. We need to have people with good levels of remuneration for their work. We need to have jobs for our children, for our young people. We need to have really strong levels of respect for our elderly. Our elderly population is growing. We need to make sure that we've put the right systems in place that we can actually look after them and that we can afford to keep them in the way that they deserve to be kept. We need to look after our veterans as well. We need to make sure that people are earning enough money that they're not relying on drugs and alcohol and gangs as their whānau, as the place that they belong, because they're busy out there leading fulfilled lives.
What values around family and the community are important to you?
Well, you know, I'm so much part of this community, from my son at Papamoa Surf Club to my husband at the port, to being on the Child Cancer Committee because my daughter survived cancer, to being involved in PTAs. We're involved in lots of things, and I see right throughout this community how important those values of family, of fairness, of justice are in this society. Equality, family, fairness and justice. We need to make sure that we are having policies, and procedures are great, but at the basis of every single policy and procedure we must remember the people. People are our priority.
Right, thank you for that. Now we've got a fun question to end with, which I haven't told you what it's going to be. So you've got 10 seconds to tell me as many things as you can think of in a certain category. So
without phoning a friend.
Without phoning a friend, or So what we would like to know is how many native birds of New Zealand can you name in 10 seconds starting now.
I need my mother-in-law. A weka, a tui, a kiwi, a moa. It's extinct, but it still is. A South Island robin.
10 seconds. Go. Awesome, thank you. That's fantastic.
I got 5.
Good work. Nice work. Thank you very much for talking with us.
Thank you.